Hi everybody, and welcome back to Cooking or Crafting with Mark. Today we're going to be learning how to make mittens on a loom. Now this is a 5.5 loom. It's got 24 pegs on it. It's got an anchor right there, as you can see. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to tie a slip knot. And you're going to loop it around your anchor. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to just simply go around on the out and wrap it around the front so that the back is coated with the yarn. And you're going to do this all the way around. This is going to be your base stitch. And for this, we're actually going to do a knit 2, purl 2. Now the first thing you do is, after you get it all the way around, you're going to push it down. Push it halfway down because you're doing a knit 2, purl 2, and you actually need the room underneath it. So after you have it all the way around, I don't know if you can see that, but there is, every 2 is got a red dot on it. It might be faded away, but if you start with your anchor and you go clear and then 2 and then clear and 2 and so forth, you're going to need that because what you're going to do next is you're going to wrap around the first 2 just like you did on your first row. You're going to take your bottom and loop it over the top. So you take the old one and loop it over the top, just like that. And on the next 2, you're going to take the new piece of yarn and loop it through. So pull your, let me do this again for you. Take your hook and go through the top one, which is the old one, and loop the new one in. So you got a loop right there. And then pull the old one off and put the new one on. And do the same with the next one. Pull through the old one, unhook the old one, and put the new loop on. And then your next 2, you're going to wrap around and go through the top. Take the new one and wrap it over the old one. Take the new one and wrap it over the old one, just like that. You're going to do this all the way around. You're going to do this for 18 rows. And the reason, or I'm sorry, for 28 rows. And the reason why you're doing it for 28 rows is because after you get 28 rows, you're going to make a little cuff around your wrist. This is the same thing that you do with your hats, but it's a bigger loom. It's a 9.5 on your hat loom. So after you get to 28 rows, then I'm going to show you what you do next. So do your knit purl all the way around and do it for 28 rows, and then we'll go to part 2. Now what I didn't mention on here is you're going to start with, I'm doing 2 different colors. I'm doing a bernat navy blue camouflage, and that's going to be for your cuff. And then I'm using a Chateau chestnut for the rest of the mitten. And you'll see what I mean because I actually have the hat and the scarf already done. And then we'll go through and we'll do this, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Now after you get about 4 or 5 rows, you can actually take your anchor off and pull the slip knot and pull the yarn so it's dangling down at the bottom, just like that. And then continue on, and that's about 4 or 5 rows, and then just continue on until you get your 28 rows. Now once you have 4 peg hooks left on your last row of your 28, what you're going to do is you're going to wrap them around on all 4. You're not going to do anything with them, just wrap them around. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this off where you have it measured, and all you're going to do is just simply cut, and then you're going to attach your new color. Now the reason why you want to do this is because you want to make sure that when you go to the next row that everything blends right in. So we're gonna get this tied in a knot here. And the beauty on this is when you do this, you can actually blend it right in and tuck it right in where you're gonna make your little cuff. So after you get this all done, loop that and loop that one. Take that off and loop your last one. So you have them all in there. Now what you want to do is see where it kind of blends right in so nobody even knows. So push all these down. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this and that one string, that one piece of yarn that you have, that you started with, tuck it in and take that one where the string is, that one loop, and hook it on the one adjacent to the side of the anchor where you started. Now I'm left-handed, so I go right to left. So just follow my lead. And if you wrap this all the way around, each one of those hooks is going to match up to those pegs. And then you're going to end up with a little cuff on your mittens. And it should look something like this. So when you get done, it should look something like this right here. And it looks kind of bulky, but it's really not. The next thing you're going to do is, all you're going to do is just take your bottom loop that you see and wrap it over the top all the way around. This is going to make your cuff on your mittens. Now once you get them all hooked up, you should have one loop all the way around. You're going to push this all the way down, just like this. And then all you're going to do is just simply do the regular stitch where you wrap it around so the yarn is on the back side and the loop is on the front. Wrap it all the way around. And once you get it all wrapped, you're just going to I missed one of my loops here. There we go. Once you get it wrapped all the way around, Now, as I said, it may look kind of bulky, but it's not going to be. When you get done, the finished product is going to be a nice little cuff around your wrist. Now, once you get this done, you're just going to simply loop over the old one onto the new one. So all you're going to have left is just the new one on here. Loop the old one over all the way around. Now, because there is no set measurement on what size the mittens are, what you're going to do is you're going to measure it by your own hand. And the way you do this is, the first thing you're going to do is just knit about 4 or 5 rows. And once you knit those 4 or 5 rows, it should come up to the cuff is right here. So it's right on your wrist. So once you knit about 4 or 5 rows, it should come right up to about here, which is right at the bottom of your thumb. You want it a little bit higher. Once we get there, then I'm going to show you what we're going to do after that. So I will get this started, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got about 6 or 7 rows. It's really dependent on how big your hand is. This is about 6 rows. So now what you're going to do is you're only going to loop 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the reason why you're doing this is going to be your thumb hole. So you're going to loop over, loop over, loop over, and loop over. Now when you go back around, you're going to go over the first one, loop, 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 and you're going to continue to do this until your thumb is covered. And you're just going to keep checking. That's the only way to do the measurement on it, is just keep checking your thumb to make sure it's going to start to form around your thumb. So again, it's loop over the first one, loop under, under, under. So you have loop over on the end when you're going across, and that's just the first one. And then when you're going back, you're going to do the same thing. Loop over the first one, and then loop under the other 3. Now, if you have a bigger thumb, you may want to do 5 pegs instead of 4. If you have a smaller thumb, then do 3 pegs instead of 4. Now, as I said, you're going to keep doing this until you start to form, which you can see right there. There's a little form right there of where the thumb is going to go. And you're going to start to see little holes on the side. I'm going to do a few more for you, just so you can start to see the formation of this and how it's going to progress. And then you're going to go over, and then under, under, under. Loop over, loop over, loop over, loop over. Push down, and again, over the first one, under, second, third, and fourth. Take the old one off, old one off, old one off, and old one off.